field. Huge crease, untouched, 10, 5, touchdown!
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the 10-5 Touchdown Tigers live talk show hosted by Julio Hennessy. We have an exciting show tonight. We have a special guest coming through for highlighting and honoring Women's History Month. So it's going to be dope, man. We got a few things to talk about before we get started. We'll give y'all some feedback, run back about things going on with the organization. Every week, I'm going to come here and tell y'all a little bit about things. So if you're looking to be a sponsor with the Tigers, please go to this site right here, sponsors at CarolinaTigersFootball.org. You can become a sponsor at that link. So hit them up at sponsors at CarolinaTigersFootball.org. Also, we're always looking for people like fan spotlights. If you know someone's a great fan of the Tigers, you know, say, hey, put them on the show. Go to Talk Show Live at CarolinaTigersFootball.org and nominate the top fan you're going to see on this interview right here. Also, her locker room nominations. I was looking for a great, empowering woman in the community and what they do around the community and done in all aspects of life. Give them a shout out. Give them a nomination at her locker room at CarolinaTigersFootball.org. Also, we do great things with the community. We love kids. If your kid's bad, you can control them. But you want to bring them to the game, and they 12 and under, put them in the Cubs Den program. Cubs Den program is an area for your children to be involved with the Carolina Tigers and be a safe environment. You go out there have a good time. So sign them up at CarolinaTigersFootball.org and /Cubs Den. If you got a teenager who loves football and part of the program as well, bring them to the Teen Zone. Sign them up at CarolinaTigersFootball.org /at the Teen Zone. So tonight we have our special guest, April Christler, be coming up in here. She is owner of the Atlanta Phoenix, and I'm about to bring her up here and start this wonderful interview in the evening. So let's get ready to bring her up here. What's going on? How you doing, Miss Christler?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
All right.
I hope you're having a good evening. Had a good day so far, having a good evening. So I want to talk a few things about you. I want to say thank you first for coming on the 10-5 Touchdown Tigers live talk show. Appreciate you being here.
No problem.
Thank you very much. Honoring. Hold on, I got the wrong band up.
I misspelled something. I usually misspell my own name, but it looks like I misspelled something when you asked like my role position. It should say head of a lot of stuff, not if stuff. But anyway.
It do. A lot. If stuff.
Yeah,
it's all good. Hey,
I fat fingered it.
That's what I'm about to say. If you got some fat fingers, just blame it on the fingers. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We're good to go. I do a lot of work, so my little story. So I tell you how it go. I want to talk a little bit first about your, early part of your life and your background.
Yeah.
And you're a 6th generation Atlanta native.
Correct.
How has the city influenced your personal and professional journey?
Really, number one, there are not that many of us, right, who can say that they're 6 generations. That means that my family dates back to the burning of Atlanta.
Wow.
So there's me, and then of course there's my mom, grandparent, so all the way back to the burning of Atlanta. I've got relatives who have been here and been a part of the growth and the expansion of the city. So I'm real proud about that. How it has influenced me in that, I mean, we're the hometown of Martin Luther King. So, like most people that are from Atlanta, rules don't apply to us. Once upon a time, there were rules for how we govern ourselves in society as African Americans are Black, right? And so Martin Luther King just wasn't a part of that. He was like, I don't know what you guys signed up for, but that's not what we signed up for. And so the tone of people that are native Atlantans is that, I'm here for everything. So to grow up to be a part of a city where there's so much Black affluence, black influence and black excellence, and really just being the mecca and the home of that. Growing up and seeing like people like, I'm in my 50s, and I went to school with kids of black doctors. There are streets in Atlanta named after the parents of the people I went to school with, right? So and living in a city where you see that as a black child, as a brown child, knowing that there's no cap for you, is amazing. Seeing a city that is led by so many just the diversity, and really we all get along here. We all get along here. There's a lot of times people come to Atlanta and they're like, where's the black side of town, right? And it's just like, there is none. What are you talking about? It's Atlanta.
The
There's
whole
no black
town.
side. There's no
Right.
black side, right? And so, and we blend very well here. We blend very well here, to know that we're in a city where we know we can win, and we do win, and we are a part of building something like this. The mayors that we've had historically have done an amazing job, leading the business and the growth of the city, even through something that I lived through, which was the Atlanta child murders. I lived through that, and to see that we overcome that, we could attract the Olympics. It's just the blend here, and the tone here is that everybody can come here and eat and win. When I travel for my job, and knowing that I go to other cities where the tone is much different, you got to kind of keep your head down. You got to diminish. You got to dim your light. Like, Atlantans going to other cities and they're just like, what is this? Like, how do you guys do this? And you see that when they're athletes like your Cam Newton and your Anthony Edwards, and just like, if you look at the athletes that are from Atlanta, you get it. You totally get it. Like, Cam is gonna say what he gonna care. He say he gonna wear what he gonna wear. Ant-Man gonna say and do what he do, and unapologetically. The tone of Atlanta and what we influence and what we do, I think, is very unapologetic. And we like to say here that Atlanta influences everything. So, man, you'll never meet another prouder set of people than Atlantans. We super proud to be from where we are, and sometimes it kind of puts off other people, but it's all we literally don't care. What I'm saying? So listen to our music, listen what comes to here from here, listen to the tone of the music, and you get exactly what it's like to live here, where affluence is everywhere for everybody. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I was on, piggyback and talking about Cam Newton wear what he want to wear. He definitely going well.
You don't
What he
care.
want.
30
Hey, listen,
three oh three three one. That's
I,
neighborhood
this,
right there. That's neighborhood
I ain't never seen
30331.
somebody take a regular T-shirt and have a bow tie with a collar. I'm just saying it was brown. It's
It's not
groundbreaking.
weird here. It's not weird here. Nothing here is weird to us.
I,
So
I just say it was
when he
amazing.
first started doing stuff, we didn't look at everybody else was like, oh, look at Cam looking like an auntie or whatever. It was like, that's Cam. Like, it doesn't even phase us.
Yeah,
You know.
I wasn't even gonna go that direction. I'm just saying that was somebody put together a bow tie with a non-collar shirt, and that's all I'm saying. I'm like, bro, that is definitely
That's
that's a
that's
triumph in
Atlanta.
itself.
That's Atlanta. That's Atlanta. Yeah.
um, as a child, I mean, did you have any triumphant moments as a child, and how they shaped your resilience, leadership?
Yeah. So I was asked something similar to that before. Warner Brothers did like a spotlight on me, and I had to think about it. And and um so when I was younger, me and my family, my mom, my sister, my brother, and I, we've been in three fires. We've been in three fires in our life, but we've lost everything. Well, two of them we lost everything. And so the most triumphant thing in my life that's really stuck with me for all of my life is when I had to throw my sister out of a window. I like literally had to throw her out of the window. And um and but the but the the most significant part of that is that I was the caboose.
Mm.
Like, you would think that, okay, mom gets out after all the kids, and that's not what happened. The reason why is because my mom was pregnant. So my mom was pregnant with my brother, and we lived in. When I come from lower income housing, like, we didn't have a whole lot in Southwest Atlanta, and so um, my mom had to go first because she was pregnant, And so that's two people. That's two people. And so and I'm the oldest. And so she had to try to get the attention of the MARTA bus driver who was across the street. And he wasn't paying attention. So she turned to me and she said, "Hey, listen," she said, "you gotta go last." She said, we got to get out of here. You got to go last. What I need you to do, my sister who sleeps through everything, she's like, you got to get Panji and you got to make sure she gets out. And so she just would not wake up. She was a hard sleeper. And I had to grab my sister. And my mom had, wet a blanket and I wrapped my sister in the blanket and I had to throw her out of the window and then I had to go last. And so that to me, that right there was like the trust that my mom had in me that I could get me and my sister out even though she wasn't there. I was like maybe 10 years old, 9 or 10 years old when it happened. And I executed flawlessly. I mean, to get the opportunity to throw your little sister out the window is fucking awesome anyway.
Yeah,
So
not get beat for it. I mean,
right, and I get beat for it,
yeah.
right? So I threw her out the window, and by that time, the MARTA bus driver had come over and was able to catch her, or whatever. And then I had to jump out of the window. And it was a 3-story window, and so I had to jump out, and there were like some shrubbery down that kind of broke the fall. And then by this time, other people were out there, kind of like trying to help everybody get out of the building. And like like literally seconds after I jumped out of the window, the building, like our whole apartment was just engulfed in flames. And so
Mm.
that stuck with me that number one, I'm chosen, I'm supposed to be here. And even then my mom saw me as the leader that I could be for the family, and it just made me the protector I am for my family and other folks. That it just made me a protector and a leader. And I felt like, i can i can I can face death and win, right? So
And
um,
that
yeah.
story would have me thinking about the song "Through the Fire." Hey,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
you know
True. Yeah, I
you
never thought about that. I never
man.
thought about that.
Listen,
That would be, yeah.
that, if you I mean if you that's the first thing that came to my mind. So that's a song. I know
Yeah.
Kanye remade it, with his
Word.
thing. He did a
Word.
sample, but
Yeah.
no, that album that right there, that's the one that would
I'm a pretty tough
definitely embodies
person.
that, huh?
Yeah, so I'm a pretty tough person, so things don't really fluster me when you like
You
to
get
have.
do, yeah, you go
Yeah,
through that, ain't
it
nothing
doesn't
really
fluster
gonna
me.
stir you on that one.
Yeah. Word.
Oh man, that's an amazing story. What are some key lessons you learned growing up that guided your career in your entrepreneurship pursuits?
That you're your own biggest cheerleader. You're your own competition. Like again, I get a lot of my influences from being in a city like Atlanta. It's just that, um from an entrepreneurial perspective, when you see people around you popping off things like all the time, like you feel like you can win. Confidence is everything. When I walk into a room, I already know that nobody here is any better or any less than I am, right? Like I come from very humble and very modest beginnings. And so to see where I've come in my career is, I'm amazed at myself. I'm proud of myself. I don't need anybody else to be proud of me. It would be helpful if I got a little bit more gratitude. I think everybody wants that and appreciation. But as far as being proud and confident in my, like, being in Atlanta can make you really confident and really feel like you can, um, walk through mountains,
Mm.
and so every room I feel like I deserve to be in. If the universe has delivered me to that step in that moment in life, that this door is open for me for this room, then I feel like I can be respected and seated at that table. And yeah, like coming, like I'm where I'm from has been on First 48 like 3 times. So you know what I mean? So and now I sit at tables with, media and sport executives. And so I think that I'm able to do that because of the amount of confidence that I've had coming in my upbringing. And again, that fire on your behind, I don't know
Yes,
how
sir.
much cussing you can do on here because I cuss a lot like a sailor,
Uh,
so I'm being real,
yeah,
real
yeah.
careful.
I refrain from my profanity.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. We have to. I have to remain a professional on this
Absolutely,
platform
absolutely.
for this organization, and I have to make sure I with stands a good face for the organization.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I can't. I can throw them out there too now.
Hey, I bet I win. I bet
Yeah.
I win. I'm gonna text you in a little bit and be like, "Hey, I bet I win."
I was talking a little bit about your career and your achievements so far, your path, and one of my first questions is like, you have led high-profile strategic initiatives in sports like tech, media, and what drives your passion for these industries?
Um, I work in sports. I work in sports. Me and you, we do the same thing. We both have these women's football teams, right? And so, um, it's to feed your family off of sports is amazing. It actually really is. I don't know if you like. So there are a lot of people in our environment, in our culture, in our leagues, and that aren't able to work in sports. They go and they do. There's some amazing people that own women's football teams, right? We've got doctors, lawyers, engineers, and essential essential talent. Um, it's a mirage. It's a spectrum of people that do professional things to take from their household and put it into women's sports, right? And so we all do some amazing things in our careers, but I'm probably one of the only people in women's football, and I don't know the gamut of everybody that works in women's football, but I'm probably one of the only ones who actually works in sports at the professional league level.
Mm.
And so, working for the NFL, working on programs for NBA.com and NBA TV, WNBA, MHL, PGA, E League, like March Madness, NCAA, or working in those environments and with those executives at the table and having them to engage and to it's college all over for me. I learned so much at work, so it's like I love what I do. I love what I do. I love working on the programs that I work on. To be able to work on something and you see what you do on TV, like what? Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. I'm so blessed. I don't know if you get that impression, but it's like and I know that there's some amazing blessed people out there that love to do what they do, but man, me, like, and I didn't even apply. I was just minding my own monkey business, and
Yeah, yeah.
and I got an email and was like, and that's the thing. That's how you know it's the universe, right? It's the universe conspiring.
Okay.
Yeah, my bad. I got somebody calling me, but anyway,
They always do
um,
that. They always hit you when they're like, had the window blocked out. Don't call me in the window.
right, like and I
Oh,
have a
oh,
virtual assistant.
it's that time. It's that
I
time.
have a
Yeah.
virtual assistant that should have picked that up, but I didn't turn it back on. But yeah, I love what I do. I love the environment. I love going to work. It's college for me. I take some things from my work professionally and I dump it into I try to do as much as I can in women's football from what I learned at work. But the funds are limited, so we're doing it on shoestring budget. So
Gotcha.
some of the stuff takes money to push it forward, but it's pretty cool to actually work in sports and feed my money off of it. Feed my family off of it.
That's definitely said. As they say,
Right.
the gifts should make room for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it pushing. But now, I'm a part of the organization, but I do stand up comedy. I'm the comedian. Julio Hennessy, see me on
Boy,
Amazon
you ain't
Prime.
funny, boy. I
Uh,
bet you
you
ain't even
know, you
funny.
can
I
watch my
bet you ain't
special.
even funny,
Watch me on
boy.
Prime. Watch me on Prime Video. Check me on
Okay.
Tubi TV. You know what I'm saying, and a couple of things. But no, I
Okay.
definitely say when your gifts make room for you. Able to provide and do things for your family with your gifts, so it's definitely a blessing.
Word.
Um, Now, I heard you was the leading development team at Turner Sports, and you received an Emmy nomination. Like, well, how
Yeah,
that come
man. We
about?
ain't get the Emmy. We ain't get the Emmy though. So
But you
it's
got
all good.
nominated though. They acknowledged you. They gave
Yeah,
you that.
just to
They
get
gave
the
you that.
nomination.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So I thought I was gonna get something pretty sexy, right? So like I said, I was working for Turner Sports, and working with, I was working with NBA, March Madness, blah blah blah, like some other sports sports properties, and so we had just completed working on like AWS data migration cloud something blah 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 whatever, right? And those websites and getting those websites cleaned up from a metadata perspective, and so we had just finished that, and so when you're a program manager, you're like waiting on your next program, and I was like just like okay, what they gonna give me? It's a nice cool little break, so it was like, oh yeah, we got something for you. Da, 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 da. I was like, all right, cool. What is it? And it was PGA. I was like, PGA. Oh my god, it was like so lame. It wasn't sexy at all. And I was
Hey,
like,
no, let me tell you something.
so I didn't
PGA.
want to do it. I didn't want to do it. And so when I went into it, I was replacing another program manager who had gone on to work for Facebook, and great person. And so when I came in, I brought my own little flavor of like how to lead the team. I did anyway. I made it fun, but what? Yeah, we were nominated for an Emmy, for transmedia broadcasting, which is the broadcasting from the digital assets, which is the website, the mobile app, and then other features and integrations that kind of make it snazzy, fancy or whatever. So yeah, it was pretty cool to. So what that is like when you see the program on TV, right? And then there's people who don't watch it on TV, they watch it from streaming. And so my team was the team that built the pieces for people to watch it on streaming, streaming platforms, website, mobile app. And so we got that's what transmedia is. It's not you know
Oh no, we
trans
do.
people in media. It's
No,
not
we
it's
just.
not that. Yeah.
I wasn't thinking.
You feel me? It's not like
Yeah.
it's not like I had a team full of people who was
No, you
cross dressing
good.
and stuff like that.
You good. You good. But now you got. I mean, PGA is definitely something dope.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how big PGA was. I'm old, so back in college, my school Methodist had PGM as a major. You
Oh,
could
really?
what the ain't but like 2 or 3 colleges in the country
Wow.
that allow PGM and sanctioned by the PGA. Like your internship was at Pinehurst during the summer. Like it was them high rolling stuff. So yeah, PG, you
Wow.
dealing with PGA, you dealing with the money. That's what I'm
Right. Yeah.
saying.
Oh, yeah. They
That
and so I grew to love it. I grew to actually really get cool with the PGA
yeah.
personnel and C level C suite of executives, and we got really cool, and I was one of the few black faces
You
when like this
brought
was
some stones
new.
to the PGA. You helped make some brothers want to pick up a golf club. You know what I'm saying? You brought
It
a
wasn't me. It wasn't
hey,
me.
you did something this like I'm telling
It
you at
wasn't
first.
me. We made it
PG,
cool.
PJ now they got a little more swag to it. It used to be boring, but now it's like okay, I can rock with it. So
Yeah.
somebody brought some fried chicken out there. They ain't bringing the wine, but they brought some fried chicken.
Really, the credit is to Turner Sports. Turner Sports kind of helped PGA. They had the contract for
Yeah,
about 30 years before they transferred it to ESPN. I had to do that transfer over to ESPN. And so they brought some swagger. They brought
yeah.
Atlanta has a lot of influence into what you see in PGA and how swaggy it became, right? So those are Atlanta people that influenced the growth of PGA. People don't know that. They don't give us credit for that. It's all good, but
Now, with your extensive experience in mergers and acquisitions, what was some of the most complex projects that you have managed besides your PGA? You know, I was pretty when you mentioned that being complex. Anything else outside of PGA game was more of a complex or tough management, but you got it done though.
yeah, I actually happen to lead the probably, knock on wood, the largest M&A program in the history of probably Turner. I know Turner Broadcasting. So I'm legacy Turner Broadcasting, and AT&T acquired Turner, HBO, CNN, Warner Time, and some other smaller like regional sports network, Xander. So a whole bunch of little media related and tangent companies. They bought them all and they wanted to make them Warner Media. And so I led that entire technology and operations transition, making everybody who was their own company before, like I said, HBO, CNN, Turner, Warner, I pulled them all into one, the major conglomerate that we became, Warner Media, when we were acquired by AT&T. And so that was a massive undertaking because we were all kind of competitors at one point, right? Like Turner doesn't share stuff with HBO. HBO doesn't share stuff with, with Warner Brothers. Um, and so we were all we like loosely we kind of saw AT&T as the enemy. We all, that was the commonality. So to have to work with all of those executives, all of those different people coming from all those different companies who were just all like what, we got bought by AT&T, now we're all who. So we all felt the way about, like, we didn't want to lose our Turner brand. Warner Brothers didn't want to lose their brand. And so I had to, like, it was a lot of feelings and a lot of technology breaking down, a lot of cybersecurity that had to be, massaged. A lot of content management, libraries and catalogs that had to be. It was just a lot. All the people in all their different emails. It was a lot. So I moved from a sports program, live sports program management, to taking the entire company from 6 and 7 different companies and making them all one. Then a year later, for AT&T to be like, yeah, we just used y'all to get y'all customer base and your subscription, your subscribership. Now we're gonna sell y'all off to Disney. So they was like, yeah, so April, you just moved everybody over to Warner Media. Can you take them all out of Warner Media and make us Warner Brothers Discovery now? And it's just like, what? I just did this. I gotta back it out. So that was really, like, we were over it. We were over mergers and acquisitions at that point. But it was kind of cool because then I got a chance to work with the Olympics, because Warner Brothers Discovery actually had some involvement in that. And then it's just been fun. It's just been a lot of fun. But that was the most complex one, making us all Warner Media, backing us out of that, and then turning right back around, and then making everybody Warner Brothers Discovery. So that was pretty complex.
As a youngster say that, so you got all the ops together and made them work together. And then
Hey, word, exactly. I did. I got all the ops. So that
you get
was
all the ops
weird.
together. Like,
That was so weird to do
yeah,
that on the calls, right? Like, people did not want to share anything. They was just like, "We ain't telling y'all that," and I was just like, "Oh my god!" So it was very political. It was very stressful. It was just, it was a lot. It was a lot, but again, it was fun. I mean, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
with all your, a lot of, you have a very, like very big list of mergers and different affiliates. From the NBA to the NFL to the PGA to the NCAA to the, I mean, out of all of those, is any project specifically, the one that you're most proud of?
I'm pretty proud of the Emmy nomination, the PGA, because I did want to do it, right? I
Right.
wanted something, like I said, I wanted something more sexy. I thought I was going to get put on. I spent a lot of time hanging out with, like, the NBA team, you know what I mean? It was just cool. Like, I don't know. I thought I was going to get something more sexy, and I didn't. And so to get PGA and to go into it being like, oh man, I don't want to do this, it's like, I
Right.
kind of pouted about it initially. And then to turn that pout, and then to have so much fun with the team that equally did not think it was cool. Like, one of the things that I did that made it pretty cool. That was a fun project. We had fun, and we were rewarded with the nomination. That was pretty cool. But one of the things I did, you have to rehearse live events. And so you have to play like it's a live event, and you have to go to the studio and do a whole bunch of stuff. And so and we have to practice a natural disaster. And usually a program manager would be like, "Oh, okay, well, let's play like it was a tornado, right?" Well, one of the first things I did was like, "Nah, we ain't gonna play like it's a tornado. Let's play like it's a zombie apocalypse." So that was one of the things I implemented to kind of have fun with the team, like, and just let's play like during the PGA Championship.
You did the Walking Dead for the Walking
Yeah, I
Dead.
did. And The Walking Dead was filmed here, so it was motivated by that, right? So yeah. So instead of doing a tornado or a tsunami or something like that, like, there's no water near here.
We got
I
a
was
million
like, let's
dead
play
people
like it's
walking
a
outside right now. Don't go out.
yeah. So from a technical perspective, we had to, you know, like, rehearse what it would be like if zombies took over. And so that was one of the things that made it really fun. Usually when you go into the studio and you're watching the live broadcast, all of the TVs, and there's like a ton of TVs, right? There's all of the TVs are on your live event. And I was just like, okay, so we got 25 27 limb TVs. We can't put like 4 of them on some football. And so that was another thing that I kind of implemented, that when you're stuck in a studio for like 12 or 14 hours, just like you have to schedule naps, you have to schedule food to come to you, and a whole bunch of stuff, like to be watching something that none of us really are all that interested in, which is the golf, because it's so quiet and it's so,
Mm-hmm.
oh, Tiger. And so to show four screens of, like, a couple of them were basketball, a couple of them were football, and then, like, was I think was pretty encouraging. So I think the team wanted to do extra special things, and then I fed them very well. Like, typically it's just like, oh, we're gonna get some Papa John's. I was like, hey, boy, what's up with that flying biscuit? We can't get no flying biscuit up here. I don't know if you know about flying biscuit, but
Nah. I mean,
so yeah, so that was the
I would
proudest
shoot down
moment.
a fine biscuit. I had to shoot one down. I had to.
Ah.
I had to go hunting on that flying biscuit.
that was my proudest moment, is that to take something that I didn't want to do and actually get super rewarded for it in the end. That was
That
pretty cool.
that's usually when the shine comes the most. When
Hmm.
you pull forth the effort behind something you really wasn't too enthused about, but
Right.
your diligence to making something great and putting forth the work behind it, you end up doing something that you really think you'll be acknowledged for, but you got the acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Therefore, that shows, you know what I'm saying, your as they say, your I don't know the right word, but it shows you about your stuff. Okay, there it is. There
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
it
take it about, well, because we both know we want to use some other
is.
words that we
Yeah, I'm
can't.
straight.
So
Yeah, I got to use it because
so we lose it when we can't use the words
hey,
we want to
I could
use.
be the next Brian Gumble. You know, I mean, I could. You know
Word.
what I'm saying?
Word.
I could be. I won't be Stephen A. Smith. I could be Julio Hennessy Smith. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So I gotta keep this thing going. I can't cuss nobody out yet. Come on, Skip. Come on, Skip. Doing like this. Like they say.
Like Unc do, like
Yeah,
Unc
come
do,
on,
right?
Skip. Come on, Skip. Now, just want you to know, the end of the night.
Won't you know it?
Want
I
the end
love
of
that
the night.
guy.
I give you everything I got, baby. I give you
Yeah.
everything. So what we gonna do real quick? We're gonna do a quick halftime. I'm gonna
Word.
pull you. I'm gonna pull you off screen. I'm gonna do a little shout out for our sponsors, some of our supporters. Now bring it back up. We go to the second half of the 10-5 touchdown. So I'm gonna take you down for a second
Bet.
and go into the halftime. 1 second.
Bet.
All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. We is at the halftime right now for the 10-5 touchdown Tigers. It's halftime. I got a lot of announcements, a lot of shout outs, a lot of things to say. We're gonna make it short, sweet, and get back to the interview. All right. So first off, I want to give a big shout out to our partners in this organization. Our partners are Sadler Sports Recreation Insurance. They ain't like Aflac, but they get you that money if something go wrong. Holler at Sadler Sports Recreation Insurance today for your sports insurance needs. Secondly, Review Media. They are out here helping out with our visual aspects. If you want to get viewed again, go to Review and have them do your thing and get you seen once again in a better light and a better aspect. Shout out to Review Media. Also, Savage D1, they handling the uniforms. If you ain't seen them, boy, they hot. They got 3 colors out there, and Savage D1 made them. So shout out to Savage D1 for them smoking hot uniforms for the Tigers this year. Also, the AFA, the American Football Association alumni, is partnered with the Tigers to help us bring a better part to you through women's tackle football. Thank you, AFA. Now, we have a special spotlight tonight for a sponsor of Tiger, Deaton Management LLC, sponsored the Tiger directly. We say thank you, Deaton Management LLC, for supporting a Tiger out here today. We appreciate your support, and always thank you very much. Big shout out to all our Paw Print creators. Paw Print creators are people who sponsor, help donate to give to a Tiger to help take care of team fees, uniform fees, little thing like that. And I'm gonna tell you what, to be a Paw Print creator, it don't take much money. I'm gonna tell you every Wednesday what it takes. If you go to McDonald's and you buy 2 number 11s with Go Large with apple pies, you could be a sponsor. If you go to Chick-fil-A and just get 2 combos on every morning, you could be a sponsor for 2 combos. It don't take much. All you gotta do, like I told y'all, to go right down there to be a Paw Print creator is to go to the website at CarolinaTigerFootball.org, look up Paw Print creators, and you can be a Paw Print creator. I'm telling y'all, if you can go to Popeye's Chicken, Popeyes is high. Okay, if you buy 10 pieces of Popeyes, you can be a Paw Print creator. That 10 pieces is expensive. I gotta watch what I eat. But here you go, all our 44 Paw Print creators. I'm gonna give y'all a shout out because you are somebody and you are important. And here we got to start. So we'll start off with Christian Hodges, Jen Bartlett, Natasha Taylor, Quad Studio, Summer Bolton, Lisa Davis, Lamaya Matthews, Courtney Mason, Felicia Thomas, Ethan Newman, Dylan Hackett, Kaiser Shore, Debbie Hayes, Cindy Cato, Michelle Miller, Tiffany Vance, Carolina Martina, Tony Miller, Amanda Endicott. Get fit together. Debbie Williams, Stacy Livingood, Terry Helton, Jamal Day, Caroline Diaz, Deja Williams, Joseph Banks, Phil Gibbs, Margaret Martin, Tyshawn Dockery, Chuck Owens, uh, Stacy Jones, Shondelyn Jones, Milton Killigore, Kelsey Elmore, Jan Tiffany, Ernesta Hollins, Melissa Davis, Sharina Lockhart, Christian Hart, Marvin Freeberg, Michael Menard, Anna Winder, and Shannon Wallace are all Paw Print creators. Thank y'all for coming in and helping support a tiger. We appreciate it very much. So we're going to get back to our interview with our special guest. Welcome back to the stage. Glad to have you back. Quick commercial break for halftime. All right, all right.
Hey, I thought you was gonna say Kaiser Sose for one of them
it's,
names. I was like, hey,
it's a
Kaiser
couple names.
Sose is
It's a
sponsoring.
couple names on here. I'll be trying not to be funny with,
Yeah.
especially Joseph Banks. I want to say something about Joseph A. Banks. You know what I'm saying? Because they all, you know,
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
can't wear no clothes. Or they ain't got no big man
Yeah,
size.
and
You know
that
what I'm
living
saying?
good, whoever got that last name, living good, that was
Yeah.
I love that.
I hope they
I
looking
love
good
that.
too.
I love that last name.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about your entrepreneurial journey right now. Yeah,
Okay.
you are a lot of great things I've read about you, and we'll talk about a few things. So, what inspires you to start Humano Vodka? That right?
Yeah, Humano
Humano
Vodka.
Vodka and
Yeah.
the Human Spirit Company, and how they both align with your vision.
Okay, well, Humano Vodka came about when listen, every like people from the COVID, right? People were like losing their jobs and people couldn't like pay their rent and and just a whole bunch of things were going on that affected us in the economy. And my wife is a drinker and I don't drink. I don't drink. And she also was affected by COVID and with job loss, and but these people that drink, hey, they gonna drink.
Right.
They gonna drink. And I was like, wait a minute, how is it that like you literally have no money? Okay. And so being a person who doesn't drink, I don't drink, my sister doesn't drink, my brother doesn't drink, my mom doesn't drink. It's like just not in our DNA. It's not, we're not coded for it. We don't have the taste for it or the interest in it. And and so I never really understood alcohol. And then I looked at it a little differently, like, damn, you know what? It's actually helping people to cope a little bit better through this. As long as you're responsible, right? And then from an economic perspective, me looking at the data, because I just thought it was weird that these people were like, you can't even pay your rent, but you finna go buy some liquor. And then I just looked at how alcohol was really one of the original businesses of Black people,
Mm-hmm.
of Negroes and colored people, and it was something that we flourished in many decades and a couple of centuries ago, and really haven't gotten enough respect and what we brought to that industry and distribution and pre-prohibition. So I just really, from historically looking at like how much wealth it created for us, and then how it was kind of taken away from us, from like what we were flourishing. Like it's just, I got a lot more respect for what the history of alcohol has been, and then to learn more about the story behind Uncle Nearest and Jack Daniels. Like it was just like I was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, you know what, this is actually a pretty cool image, cool, industry. And so and then from investment perspective, it's a great investment, right? And so that's where it came from. The name comes from, Humano is the most globally recognized name of, well, spelling and pronunciation of the word human. So I was like, if I'm gonna do something, it's gonna be that unifies all people, regardless of
Mm-hmm.
gender, ethnicity, sexual preference or whatever. Like I'm about what it did to unify people. I feel like through COVID, and so yeah, so that's where it came from. And again, I'm a numbers, I'm a data person, so it just made sense. And then of course, you got I'm somebody who would never get high off my own supply.
I got
I can keep looking at my house, and it'll be here, and I'm not going to drink through my profits.
you. Right.
Now my wife took out a case of vodka one time, and I was just like, yo, I was like, what are you doing? And so that became, so then she understood, like, well, it was a whole thing. If you're married, like, you get like, there's some of those times in the marriage where it's just like
I
y'all ain't on the same
put the
page.
money in the right spot. Can't just
Word,
throw it
right?
all
So that's where it
on
comes from.
fishing gear.
Yeah, and the Human Spirit Company is like the human spirit, like human,
Yeah.
alcoholic spirits. And then I believe a lot in the universe, connectivity and vibrations being high, and just like I appreciate myself being my own creator, God being within me all the time, and with me right now, and just I'm a very spiritual person, and so yeah, yeah, it all ties together. I like the Human Spirit Company is my core business, and I operate all my other businesses underneath the Human
Mm,
Spirit Company because I feel like
yeah.
it resonates with the spirit and the universe and God has to be in everything that I do. Really, that's where it
It's
comes down.
umbrella to everything. Everything
Word,
under the human spirit. Gotcha. That.
word.
Now, you are the owner of the Atlantic Phoenix. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we be seeing y'all on April the 5th. Coming up
Hey,
soon.
why? Hey, I'm just trying. Hey,
We ain't gonna talk about it right now. Just want to put it out there. We see
I'm
y'all
just
every
saying,
week.
why?
We talk later on. You know what I'm saying? But no, you have you throughout that being the owner of that team, you have secured some historic sponsorships for women's football.
Word.
And how did you navigate those partnerships? How did you make them happen?
Well, the first one, it was like, so the one that people kind of think is like the most significant is our sponsorship that we had with Porsche, right? And so and respectfully, it was the MHP, which is MHP Porsche, which is the smart car, or the innovative part of Porsche. Like everything you see in a Porsche car, MHP is behind the innovation that drives that and the engineering of it, right? And so MHP Porsche sponsored us, and really it's about relationships. Sports, sports sponsorships are about relationships a lot of time, especially at this level. And kudos to you for all those sponsors that you rooted off. Well, I was just like, hey, I want a sponsor, but no, I'm not, because I got to sponsor my own team. So, but really it's about relationships. And but before Porsche, we had been sponsored by Chick-fil-A, we had been sponsored by McDonald's before, we've been sponsored by Subway before. And again, it's relationships. I have players that are like, hey, Brain. Like I had one player who was like, and they call me Brain, and it was like, hey, Brain, I work at AT&T, like, can I send a sponsorship package to them? And I was like, no. No, who at AT&T. AT&T is a Fortune 1, a Fortune 5. We need to speak with decision makers, people who can write the check, people I can speak to directly. I am not going to be able to to source a relationship and a sponsorship with AT&T as fast as we need the funds, right? And so you have to first think about, is there a direct line of sight to someone who can make a decision? Is there someone who can write a check? And then you also have to think about the type of funds. Where are there more discretionary, none, funds that are available, that they don't have to go through so many loops and holes through
Mm-hmm.
finance or whatever. Because when we were talking to Porsche wanted to sponsor for something greater, but which was $10,000. And but they wanted to go, and we wanted more from Porsche. It was like, it's Porsche, hey, y'all got it, boy. So we was like, but in order to get more, we would have to go through Germany,
Mm.
and it would take a longer time. And so the lesson here is to start early, right? Because and know somebody. That's so important. And when you go for those bigger dollars, if you're talking about at the small business entrepreneur level, yeah, you're going to be able to walk into somebody's dry cleaner, and you're a lot of the times going to be able to talk to an owner, right? Or an owner, or somebody who can make a decision or can put you directly in touch with that person. But when you're going after like the sponsorships for your Porsche, and then we also have a sponsorship with Waffle House as well, and again this year, um, you've got to you've got to get that direct line of sight and connectivity with a decision maker who has funds available. And then the last thing is not to call it a sponsorship.
Mm.
It's not a sponsorship. Like we need it. We finna spin it. You know what I mean? So, but you have to know what you're going to be able to exchange, how you're an asset for that entity. And so for us, we don't have a sponsorship package. We have a marketing plan. So we have our metrics lined up with how many eyes you're probably going to get a new market. We're going to, refresh for you. We do more than just hey, we're gonna put you on our website. We actually have things that we exchange for the sponsorship, and so a lot of the times that's beneficial as well. And then we also let them know that we're going to be your community service or your arm for you. If you've got something that you want to do out in the public or whatever, that's let us be that arm for you. And you can keep your people at bay, and we'll get out in them streets and represent on your behalf. And then we do some really cool things that you haven't seen in women's football. Like we put the sponsor on a jersey, we put the sponsor on a helmet, we do things like that, so
Mm.
and a host of other things. But it's about the relationship, having someone to advocate for you that they can get you that to somebody who can actually write a check. And there's lots of people that can write checks within these organizations. Doesn't always have to be the CEO. Like at Turner, most people at Turner have, I know when I was at Sprint, I could host parties for my site acquisition consultants. And that meant that I had funds to be able to spend on, catering and stuff like that. So if I have to do a team building, yeah, give me your team building money.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna spend on team building? You're gonna spend on, $5,000 to take them to a game. And actually that's what it became at Porsche. It was like they at the end of the day they gave us the money and then they bought tickets. And then we had Porsche executives at our games, and they bought apparel, you know what I mean? So don't think of it as a sponsorship. Think of it as how do you sell them a marketing opportunity, and how do you also leverage your other revenue streams and say, hey, y'all all need shirts when y'all come, get these hoodies. And then
Right.
we end up selling Porsche people a whole bunch of hoodies and stuff. So it's
Okay.
you gotta be creative.
That's great. Yes.
Right.
Okay. Definitely good insight on that. Definitely, you're right about being direct line of sight. Get to the check writers. It was a
Get
get
to
to
the
the
check. But
money.
hey, they can't
It,
write no check. I don't want to talk to them.
it's
For
one
real,
of the
for real,
most
real,
one of
for
the
real.
most great movies of between Cuba Gooding and Tom Cruise. Show me the
So
money was the infamous line right there. Being a football team owner comes with a whole lot of challenges, yo. What's one unexpected lesson you learned from leading a women's pro football team?
ain't no cavalry. Ain't no cavalry. Ain't nobody believing in it other than you. Uh, you know, um, create your own lane, create your own. Um, I so for me, it's there's no Calvary. People think it's one thing and it's something entirely different. I hear all the time people like, oh, y'all should do this. Y'all should just like, "Nigga, you really think I ain't tried that, bro? 14 years in this. You think I have not? And 14 years doing this, leading the programs that I have, being a part of the things that I have from a professional perspective, it amazes me. It appalls me at the number of people that tell me to do some of the most basic things. It's like, oh, you know what y'all should do? Y'all should put some handouts at the gyms. You think in 14 years I haven't put handouts at the gym?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all should put flyers up at the. You think in 14 years I haven't done that? What one thing about me, and I think I've seen and differently done differently in other teams, is that I know a whole lot of y'all are used to doing things the traditional women's football way. I'm gonna tell you right now, I run away from it. If I see another team do it, And if I see it continue, it's something that we keep doing over and over again, and we haven't been funded yet. We ain't been funded yet from none of this stuff that a lot of these women's football teams are doing. And I'm sitting there looking like, y'all ain't figured that out yet. Y'all ain't figured out that that don't work. We have to be funded. We've got to get to a point where we get funded. So I get it. I get the community service. I get the, hey, let's all go out again. Which one of them nonprofit agencies has written y'all a check back? Because right now, what we need is money. Which one of them continues to push you out in their socials after you go and do that one thing you do for them? Which one? Show me the check from any of those organizations. Show me where they love on you as much as we've loved on them. There's one particular organization. It's a brand. It's a one particular big brand that is pretty prominent now in one of the leagues. Is that they sponsor them or whatever. Where the check at though? We keep pushing their brand and we keep pushing their stuff out there, showing them love. Where the check at from them? No. Okay, it ain't one. Okay, so April doesn't follow that. I'm not doing that. If there's not a check that's going to come from it, because that's what women's football needs right now. We've got the passion, we've got the action, we've got the content, we've got so many things. But one thing we don't have, ain't nobody gave us yet, is the check. So that's why going back to Humano, I'm a sponsor myself.
Mm.
I'm gonna go create a business. I'm gonna go create revenue stream. There's another thing that I've created that I'm about to announce shortly. And I created that for myself. You don't want to give us publicity, you don't want to give us media, you don't want to give us a platform. Yeah, it's good. It's all good because I took women's football to Turner Sports. We were the one of two last finalists to be put on Turner Sports, and they chose men football, the men's football league that failed like 7 weeks in. You know the one where Mike Vick was gonna go over there and be the coach or whatever. I forget what it was called, the AAL or whatever it was called, whatever. Yeah, it failed. They went bankrupt. They had $70 million. They had $70 million to start that league, and then Turner gave them more money to license their for a license to broadcast, and they failed in the middle of the season. And to know that Turner had the opportunity to fund them or fund us, and we lost. We was the number two, and we lost that battle. I said, "Golly, I'm an insider. I'm up in here. These people know me." And we didn't need a $10 million check for our broadcasting. Give us one. Give us one or two of them millions and see what women's football does it. Because look at what we've done with no millions.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? We're not millionaires. We're hundredaires, a lot of
Mm.
us, right? So that's what I've learned in women's football is there ain't no Calvary. Ain't no Calvary. You better be your own Calvary. And so for me, I don't know about you and what y'all doing or whatever, but that's what I'm doing. And like I said, when I see women's football do one thing, a lot of it has been spearheaded and influenced by what Atlanta has put in the market already before. And I'm gonna say that, and I don't apologize for it. Fight me. Fight me on the influence that Atlanta made with women's football. Fight me on what we've done to push the sport forward and innovation and hype and just and just turning it up. Fight me on us being an influence and tell me that we didn't do it and not get any highlight or promotion or whatever. We just pushed it forward. But yeah, we tired of that now. We ain't on that. We ain't signing up for that no more. We ain't
Mm.
signing up for that no more. So we our own Calvary. We're creating our own revenue stream. We ain't waiting for no sponsors. We our own sponsors. And that's how that's what I learned. That's what I learned is to do it yourself. Do it your mother what's the name
I
self.
got you. I got
You
you.
know, mother what's the name self.
Yeah. Stuff. Now, now, you describe football as the ultimate gladiator sport and a tool to break gender bias. What are some key life skills that football taught you with that? Know what I'm saying in that?
Get up, get up, get up. I mean, it's the epitome of somebody knocking you down, and
Mm.
you have to give. It's the epitome of there's a goal, right? There's a goal. There's something that we all want to achieve. Everybody can speak the women can speak the football language. There's a goal, and Yeah, you can Hail Mary it down the field like every single time, but why? Life is really made up of a bunch of little goals that you accomplish and you achieve to get to the one big thing, right? And so
Mhm.
that's what football is. And when somebody knocks you down, like you call a play, first down, we're gonna get 4 yards on that, you're gonna get tackled. Get up, go to the huddle. Your huddle is your group of people that are your supporters, the people that are going to elevate you. They're going to advocate for you. They're going to say, you're going to knock down, get in that huddle, be like, I don't know where she came from, but that lady just knocked my head off. Somebody tell me what to do in the next play. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you're discombobulated and you get hurt, you get put down, you get stumped on, and you go to a huddle of your sisters and they say, "Girl, you good? We got you. I mean, well, we gonna double team her or something like that." And then you go to the next play and you keep it pushing until you achieve that goal, right? Until you achieve that goal. And so that's what football has taught me, is to get up. And it's a wonderful thing, and that women and girls should have been exposed to earlier in their life, right? Like men have had the privilege of learning that type of tenacity, that type of assertiveness, that type of like just get at it, through football, that women had not been a part of, girls had not been a part of. We didn't learn that. And so when you come into the realm, into the class of football, and you learn and you realize like, yo, I can get knocked down and somebody can get up, and I'm gonna have a support group. The sisterhood of it is amazing. The leadership, the confidence that you get, when you walk into a room and people know that you're a football player as a woman, now people don't want to give you a secretarial type of task, like, okay, you weren't going to get the coffee, they know you're a football player, so now you got a little bit more to talk about with these guys. And so you're now a part of the table that you could lean in on, because now they have this extra special interest. It's so much. I could go on and on. I can actually give a course on this, and I've actually spoken. I've got to speak next week about this, as a matter of fact. This women's forum, this whatever. So that's what the takeaway is from football. It's not that girls want to go out and just be boys, which is like ridiculous that they think that that's what the situation is. It's really what you take away in life skills, and what it builds up in you from a confidence perspective, that is amazing about football, and that I love about football.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They said you get up. Life teaches you every day for real.
Get
Now
up, get out, and get something.
it's
Like
something.
Good Mo B said.
Yeah.
Like Good Mo B
That's
said.
the outcast.
Yeah.
There's something that people probably don't know about you, but I found this out. Uh,
What?
you and your sister was alternates on Shark Tank.
Yeah, we
Now, what
were.
was y'all invention, and do you still have that entrepreneur spirit for new ideas from that? What
I
was y'all invention?
do. Yeah, so my sister and I, my sister and I were alternates for Shark Tank, for an invention. We invented a product, a cable management product, that allows you to manage your cable messiness. Like on my desk, like cables are like everywhere, a lot of the place. I can't stand cables everywhere. So we developed a glow in the dark hook and loop apparatus that wraps up the cables and tucks them away, and you can actually write on them, right on hook and loop. And the amazing part about it, that Shark Tank thought was pretty cool, was that you can write on hook and loop. Now if you go get a piece of velcro, go try to write on it.
Ain't gonna happen.
Can't do it. My sister and I created the process, the apparatus, and the materials that you could fuse together with hook and loop, that allows you to write on hook and loop, and we made it glow in the dark. So in the event that there's a natural catastrophe like a zombie apocalypse, and the lights are all off, and like a data center is really important, like if you're not to pull the wrong cable, like, so if you go in an environment where it's super dark
Right.
and you walk into a data center that maybe is like all the lights are out, or if you walk into a home where all the lights are out because there's a disaster, um to see the cables light up, and you're having to still work with those cables, is and then to be able to identify them is
Pretty good.
extra special. Yeah. And so it hasn't been long, no one has done it yet, no one has, so it's that's been a while ago. And so my sister and I, we still have a plan to launch it. The reason why we did it, well, the whole Shark Tank thing was like there was we were picked as the alternate if there was this one couple that was going through some crap and they were getting a divorce or something or whatever, and so they couldn't get along, and so if they weren't going to be able to get along, then they were going to slide my sister and I. So we had to have our suitcases and everything ready to go, in the event that they said they were going to slide us in, but they didn't, so it didn't happen. So I've I've got Shark Tank PSTD, PTSD, so now I can't even watch it anymore because we weren't picked. Yeah, so I'm a little butthurt about it. But our interview and our video that we submitted was pretty funny, and that's why
Pretty
they
good.
chose us. Yeah, they chose us because we were pretty comical together, me and my sister.
And I can see y'all. I almost see y'all pitch. You can't see it, but you can read it. You know what I'm saying? I really can. You can see it,
I'll
or you
send
can
you the
read
video. I'll send you the video so
it.
that you can see
Man.
it. Yeah, I'll send you the video. You can see it.
As we get ready to close out the show, I want two more questions I want to ask you.
Right.
If you can give advice to young girls who want to break in, young girls, young women, period, who want to break into male-dominated industries, what would that advice be?
Um, Wanted to break in male dominated industries, what I've done. Yeah. What's the advice? The advice would be is to not listen to anybody. Don't listen to anybody but yourself, because when you break into male dominated industries, there are going to be people that are going to diminish you, that are going to discourage you. You are a lot. It's get over the weirdness of being the only girl in the room.
Mm,
Get over it. Okay, because that is really weird. It's really weird to walk into the room and you're the only female. And for some people it's not weird. To me, I'd be like, hey, what, hey, who chat this is, you know what I mean?
right,
So
right.
I'm that kind of person. So um keep practicing just doing it. And I know that sounds so easy or whatever, but to be able to do it and to get in these rooms is to keep going in places where you should not be.
Mm, okay.
Keep going, like, and so if there's a job, if there's a sport or whatever, literally what needs to happen is you continue to practice going, being the only one. And when you start feeling that I'm the only one I survive, I'm the only one at this event that's like me, start getting really comfortable with yourself being the only one where you're not supposed to be.
Mm,
Um, um, I could tell you a whole lot of things that I think a whole lot of other people tell people all the time, but I like to tell people the things that they don't think they're gonna hear, right?
mm-hmm,
And that's one that I don't think is heard enough. That it's inside of you. It's inside of you. It was given to you to go. It was given to you in your spirit to want to walk into that room and want to do that thing that only the boys are doing. It was given to you, and it wasn't given to you by mistake. You felt it, you saw it, and you vibrated with it for a reason. So before you go into that room, before you get into that environment where you're the only one, go do it several places before that, in any environment where you're the only one. And that way, when you go into that room, when you go into that job or whatever that you're not supposed to be in, it's like, hey, I've done this before, boy. Hey, I'm good.
mm-hmm.
What's up, boy? You know what I mean? So I'm from Southwest Atlanta, so a lot of stuff that's going, it's a part of me to still be in my Atlanta vernacular and whatever. And
It's all good. Be
yeah,
yourself. Be
yeah,
who you
word,
are, and be
yeah.
true to thyself. To be true to, I said, be true to thyself, and thyself be true. Here it is. Whatever
Okay, okay,
that.
yep.
Oh God. So before we close out, is there? Do you have any words of inspiration? Anything you like? You want to give people give people that word, or just tell them, hey, anything you want to say. And lastly, really, I want to say, I want to give you your flowers and say you have made some amazing leaps and bounds, and like I said, in an area that sometimes or you were told you shouldn't be, but you're
Word.
here and you're doing the dang on thing. So you deserve to get acknowledged for being great and stepping out into areas that people didn't think or could tell or wouldn't tell you could be great at, but you've done it and you have been amazing at it. So I want to give you your flowers and knowledge on
Thank
that.
you. I appreciate that. And and I was thinking the same thing about you guys, is that I think this is an amazing platform that you got here to highlight your team and your sponsors. And like this, there are a lot of things we haven't done this. Atlanta hasn't done this. And I think that when I see things that we haven't done, and I think it's like, hey, look, they're on to something right here, right? So I think that you guys are doing a really great job at pulling something like this together. I was like, man, I was like, damn, why wouldn't you do that? So, but I don't know, to inspire the audience, whatever is, I'm break the rules, break the rules. I know everybody tell you to walk in between the lines and don't color outside of them, and to acclimate, you know what I mean, and to unify. Like, I get that, and that's all wonderful, and it's all wonderfully appropriate where it's appropriate. But when it comes to you and your spirit, every last one of us is here with a purpose and with a goal, and are magnificent. I love me. Let me tell you something. You better talk to me. You better talk to me some more, boy. I love me some April Sean. I love me some April Sean. But let me tell you something. I don't think I am any more wonderful than the next person. I want everybody to feel as wonderful about themselves as I feel about me. I really do. And I hope that the wonder that I feel in myself doesn't offend and overstep and step into somebody else's toes, and feel like they got to dim their light because they're in the presence of mine. Like, let's 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 put our lights together, and let's
Shine bright.
illuminate. Let's
Mm.
illuminate. Let's be so bright that they're gonna see us in the universe. You know what I'm saying? And 3 million galaxies away from here. Like, I love me, and I'm from, like, trying to tell you, like, I'm from the hood, Adamsville, whatever. I'm not supposed to be here, and there's so many other stories about me in that I'm not supposed to be here, and I am, and so if my presence offends, or puts off somebody else because I walk and I talk the way that I do, or whatever, I want you to have that. I want you to have, if you have an agenda, when you come into my presence, hey, run it by me. What we doing? You know what I'm saying? Agendas don't offend me. You better have an agenda when you talk to me. You better. So have an agenda, have a purpose, have a confidence, have a swagger, and vibrate high, meditate. It's big, just believe in yourself. And I know everybody's like, oh, believe in yourself. No, bro, like, literally believe in yourself and nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Believe in yourself and nobody else. If it was put in your spirit, it was put in your soul to put something out there, keep freaking doing it. Keep pushing it. As ridiculous as it is, miracles are for real. Miracles are real, bro. So that's me. That's what I'm about. I guess a lot of people probably think, because you'll probably hear a lot of times that I'm a hole, and I can be, but I don't care. Talk to
You're
me.
supposed to.
Talk to me. You'll feel the vibe and the positivity I'm on, and that offends some people. And if you offend some people, let that shit be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Golly, let it be okay.
Good. Because
Let it be okay and keep it moving. You feel
yeah,
me? So that's what I'm on.
be unapologetically you.
Unapologetic. And
Yeah,
Atlanta influences everything. I want everybody to know that Atlanta influences everything. Did I say that?
you
Y'all
did
better
about
know it.
you
Yeah.
did about 17, 37, 47, 27, 15 times. That's all good. It's all good.
I mean, you know.
Unapologetically be you. The A. That's right. When all them, especially in baseball, when all them divisions can't win a World Series.
Hey, hey, listen. Even if the Falcons is your team, believe in them. Okay, the Falcons are going Falcon. Okay, the
We go
Falcons are going
Falcons.
Falcon. But believe in the Falcons. Believe in the Falcons.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey. No, but yeah, thank you for coming to tonight. Looking forward to the teams coming together for this
Word.
great clash of the Titans. Looking forward to going against an experienced team. But we definitely are going to bring something different. We're going to be looking forward to it. We ain't scared. Just let you know, we
Y'all
ain't
better not
scared.
be. Hey,
We
y'all
ain't
better not
scared.
be.
We ain't scared. But no, but just looking forward to they said coming down y'all way, seeing y'all what y'all got in person, and just doing. I just want to say great job as organizational standpoint. great job as a leader for your organization, and continue to set the bar high for everyone else to try to make. We all got a bar to set, but keep yours up high as you always had. And want to
You
say
too, my boy. You too,
thank
my
you
boy.
on behalf of the Carolina Tigers. Want to say thank you for coming through tonight and just keep being great. And this is the owner of the Atlanta Phoenix. We're gonna be there April the 5th now. We're gonna be there. We're coming ATL.
Hey.
Y'all better get ready. Before
Hey,
we close
we stay
out,
ready.
a few announcements. Again, thank you so much, and may God bless you, continue to have you first and everything go good for you.
You're welcome. All right, brother.
All right. So, man, listen, y'all. Great interview tonight. It was so many things dropped. You got to play this again on YouTube. Pick it up. That's all I'm gonna tell you. But a quick thing for Catch the Funny. I didn't mention Catch the Funny as being a partner. Being a partner sponsor. Catch the Funny is the brand that brings the jokes. I am Julio Hennessy, founder of Catch the Funny. I believe you're not laughing, you're not living, and you should laugh every day because life's too short not to enjoy it. But on March the 28th, which in the month, I'll be in Winston-Salem at the Studio 71 on Wowtown Street for the 336 Comedy Explosion with Nav Green and Justin Whitehead and your man right here, Julio Hennessy. Got something in Charlotte, April the 3rd. Be here at the Vapor Center for the Connected Comedy competition up in here. If you're in Charlotte, pull up. Tickets there for $10. For the show at 28, like 25, early bird, 30 to go. Listen, man. Listen well. Live your life, laugh more, live longer, and thank you. And we'll see you next Wednesday for the 10-5 Touchdown Tigers live talk show. God bless.
Them Tigers, orange, white, and purple. Y'all better take a seat. Carolina Tigers, you know we can't be beat. Hey, say go Tigers. Hey, run up on them, make that play all day. Hey, say go Tigers. Hey, line them up, we'll make them pay. We don't play. Hey, say go Tigers. Hey, hard hits, big plays, that's our way. Hey, say go Tigers. Hey, Carolina Tigers, you know we gon' slay. Stepping in the jungle, that's a death wish. We Tigers on the hunt, coming out the mist. We try to count us out, now we gonna grind. Y'all can move out the way, it's our time to shine. Our claws are out, ain't no holding back. We the new champs here and we're on attack. You want the smoke, well, we're bringing the fire. Wanna feel the heat if that's your desire.